where Romulans Bearing Gifts.
Of this podcast / YouTube show, Shuttle Pod. Have you heard or seen that?
No.
So YouTube, with the algorithm, started pushing that on me recently. I kept seeing like Shuttle Pod, and I didn't click on it until today. And so I haven't watched much of it, so I can't really judge it. But obviously it's a Star Trek podcast / video show, but it's actually. It's like the homespun version of the Ready Room with Will Wheaton.
Okay, all right.
But our hosts, our regular hosts, are the actor who played Trip and the actor who played the security officer on Enterprise.
Okay, all right, yeah.
And I had no idea this thing existed until I clicked on it properly today. And I was like, I love this. I mean, I don't know if it's good or not, but I love that these two guys from Enterprise are helming like this fan Star Trek podcast.
Okay.
I think that's so cool. Like those two, I love it. I love it. Just the idea that they're, I know, what's his name? Lex Luthor from Smallville. He has a kind of a similar thing going on.
Oh yeah.
Which is also cool. Is he doing it with Tom Welling?
Yeah, Michael Rosenbaum is hilarious. I have seen him at conventions. He is just a fun dude. So I didn't know he had a podcast, so that's awesome too. Yeah.
Oh, Lex Luthor?
Yeah, right. Yes.
Oh,
right.
yeah. That one's getting really popular. I mean, like you said, I guess because of his personality and whatnot, he's like a really good podcast host. Now, the Shuttle Pod is not as magnetic as that one. They're not on the same level, but it's just cool. I love these guys from Enterprise that they're like, still, carrying the torch and all that business, that they're not like, estranged from like the community or the franchise.
Don't talk to me about Star Trek anymore. And yes.
Yeah. In the episode I was watching, they just had on, Gates McFadden, and it was cool to see those two guys like interviewing her and asking her about Picard, yada yada. It was cool. It was cool. Because he, what I can't remember the actor's name. The one who plays the security officer. Like one of the first things he said to Gates McFadden, he was like, "Oh my god." He's like, that opening scene in episode 1. He was like, that was the coolest, most badass action scene I've ever seen in Star Trek. He was like, what was it like to do that? And I was like, that's cool. That is cool that he's like watching the show as a fan, he's all into it. I love that. I don't know. I just love that.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. I've been going back and rewatching some things, some that are recent, some that are further back. Like I started watching Final Frontier last night. I know Final Frontier, but I don't know. I'm just finding a lot of things that had a bad taste in my mouth from before, whether it was a big bad taste or a subtle bad taste, don't seem as bad or seem better to me now. Final Frontier is still jacked up, but it doesn't seem as bad.
Final Frontier? What is this? What are you talking about?
Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Oh, the movie. Jeez.
Yes.
Yeah,
You're not sold.
No. You see how I blocked it out of my memory? I was like, what? What do you mean Final Frontier? Oh, Trek 5.
Oh, now, I would say as well, since that movie came out, and I was still relatively young when that movie came out, but I remember it well. I mean, seeing it at the movies and everything. There was something that I was always curious about since the first time I saw that movie. And through Googling, I finally solved the mystery last night.
Okay.
So it's been how many years coming? And I finally solved the mystery. did you ever notice or gave it thought in that movie that when they have their campfire at the beginning, the first campfire
with their marshmallows?
Yes, the marshmallows.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Do you know the answer or explanation for all that marshmallow, the verbiage?
I guess not. I didn't think much of it other than him having fun. What's up?
I mean, did it ever jump out to you the words or something? Or did you ever go, why do they call him that?
No, I just figured, he wasn't from Earth, so he didn't know what they were called.
Interesting. So see, when I was young, I dismissed it because when I was young, I assumed it was like some kind of weird regional thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, it must be one of those words in English that in other parts of the country, they just say marshmallows. That's what I assumed for years. And so I just kind of swept it aside. But it's been bothering me, and I don't know why I didn't Google it 5 years ago, because I know I had this on my mind 5 years ago or so. So I finally got into it last night through the Googles, and I was like, okay, so it's not a regional thing. There's no place in the United States where they call them marshmallows. And so I was like, what the hell? So apparently there is an explanation.
Okay.
And it comes from the novelization of the movie.
Okay.
So apparently in the novelization, they explain that McCoy knew that Spock was going to do research on camping ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So supposedly McCoy altered the computer database to replace the word marshmallow with marshmallow. And supposedly he put that in the computer to set up a prank for Spock. So then when Spock starts saying it, in the scene, this is in the book, Kirk and McCoy just kind of play along with the word and as if nothing. But then eventually in the novel, Spock turns it around and says, actually, I'm just messing with you guys because I saw your deception, McCoy. And he was explaining that he just went along with it anyway, even though he discovered that and I just read this last night for the first time. My mind was blown, first of all. What in the hell? But then my next thing is, and I don't know the answer to this yet, was this the way it was always planned and written? Or did the novelization attempt to explain this weird happenstance in the movie? Because I know that's happened before with novelizations where they try to retroactively explain something.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't figured that out yet. But my thing is, how the hell are you supposed to suss this out when you're actually watching the movie in real time? Now, I think that's amazing that, like you said, you didn't have an issue with it because you just assumed because Spock's an alien, he just kind of got it wrong. But I could never get there as a kid because I was like, well, there's no indication because, McCoy and Kirk just go along with it like it's nothing. And so, I don't know. It's just bothered me forever. I've gotten most of the answer now, finally.
Well, I'm glad that you have come to some peace with the marshmallows.
But no, I've been revisiting Dark Knight Rises recently, and I'm starting to like it more than I always liked it. But it was always like the weird stepchild to the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to think Dark Knight Rises is going up, in my opinion. And I'm still a little bit sore about the Book of Boba Fett because it has quite a negative rap on the internet. Yeah. But I've been revisiting that as well, and I still like it. It's got issues here and there, but overall, I still like it. So
it's okay. It's okay. I'm assuming we're not counting the Mando episodes, on its own.
Yeah, either way, however you want to slice it. If you just take it as the Boba Fett part, I actually like. And I guess there's two main beefs that people out there have. One is the certain specific awkward action pieces, like the bikers. No one most people hate the multicolored bikers, whatever.
Well, I mean, their cycles look like something that escaped from a merry-go-round. Their prosthetics are the completely wrong resolution. They're the wrong size. They're like the Duplo versions of what they should be. They're like the Duplo Borg, right? If you look at the Borg, as ridiculous as the pieces on the Borg are, they have a dimensionality to them that makes sense. These kids, nothing makes sense about their prosthetics. The surgeon who first repairs, what's her name? Why the hell does he have a giant clamp hand if he's a surgeon? He's just not. Why are things jutting way off of it? These people have to sleep at some point. Nothing makes sense about the scale of their prosthetics. It's annoying. So the fact that they're riding merry-go-round cycles, their goofy prosthetics, the fact that they are like the Fisher-Price version of the Hitman Squad, right? I mean, because Boba Fett is supposed to be, a gangster, right? Literally, he's supposed to be a gangster, and he's supposed to have that rep about him. And then they turn him into this. What do you want to call this? Like,
okay, so this is the other thing that people don't like is this whole conversion almost of the Boba Fett character.
No. That's I got a beef with that. I mean, if they're going to do it, you got to do it right. And I think they tried to Disneyfy him. He is supposed to be a gangster bounty hunter. And when Book of Boba Fett came out, even with the lead up, where we just see him just with a harsh look bring down a ship full of troopers, clone troopers. He's supposed to be badass, and we end up seeing him dancing in the desert and taking care of kid cyborgs, and it messes with what I thought was going to be novel is that we're going to actually see Disney let us see a villain, and honestly, I kind of figured, of course, they were going to try to turn around a little bit, but I thought they were going to at least give us a respectful villainy of him or a darkness to him. They just went straight to grandfather figure, mentor, and his posse is weak. I'm telling you, this team does not inspire, gangster leadership. It's beautiful to be in the space. I'm happy to see Boba, but I am less than impressed with.
Wow, I mean, you make powerful points, and you probably speak for the masses on this particular subject. I guess I am a bit rogue on this one, just in the sense I agree with the biker gang, and it's funny how you put it with the prosthetics.
Those prosthetics are ridiculous. I mean, look, what's her name? What's his name?
Fennec.
Yeah. Right. First of all, she's not that big. All right. So after she has her injury, and Clamp Hand goes in there to repair her, look at her repairs. It makes no sense that the giant gaping spaces she's only like 5'2" to start with. Why you'd have all that huge shock size components in her, gaping space in there, and then you just wrap it with a waistband around. It just makes no sense that that's the way her prosthetics would be. It's just
everything you're saying, it makes perfect sense. I thought you were going to go a different route, which was what I was kind of thinking in my own head, which was not so much that they literally don't make sense, but that it didn't make sense like in Star Wars style language is what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, that's that too. I mean, the thing about Star Wars is that everything looks real, right? It looks used. It looks practical. It looks of a certain, of a certain kind of technology. No, blatant violation of all of that. No, stuff you don't even know what it is, at least has the right dimensionality about it in Star Wars. These kids' components are ridiculous. They are ridiculous. And
yeah, it's more difficult for me to defend anything having to do with them, and I won't right now. But I guess I'm one of the few people that was okay with Boba's turn as a character. I guess for some reason, because I seem to very much be in the minority on this, I liked seeing like the flashbacks to his time with the Tusken Raiders. I thought that was a very interesting bit, not just for the Boba series, but just never see anything like that, like in Star Wars, and to reframe like our feelings about the Tusken Raiders. I thought that was all really, really cool. And he sort of has like a come to Jesus moment through those flashbacks.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm in the minority where it actually worked on me, that I was convinced that Boba could like radically change his ways. Definitely, though, when they get to present time in the show, he still should have been tougher despite his conversion, and a bit more ruthless despite his conversion.
Yeah.
I'll grant that.
Yeah.
But I still overall like it despite some glaring flaws.
I like being in this space. They need to work on it though. they need to work on it. I'm
not really sure. I'm not really sure. I think they're going to just reintegrate it back into the mainline Mando series, but I don't really know for sure.
You think so?
I think that's what's going to happen. I don't think they're going to continue any standalone Boba Fett stuff anymore.
Really? Okay.
I think I haven't got anything. I don't have any confirmed knowledge. Something tells me that they're just going to fold it back into Mando and have him as like a reoccurring character. But that's just based on more gut feeling than anything.
Well, you're probably right about that because, you're probably right about that. I'm not certain that Book of Boba, stood on its own strong enough for that. It might have just be an Obi-Wan thing, but we'll see. Look, they need to repair it. They need a season 2 just to fix it, in my opinion. So that's what I want to see. I want to see better. So if they're going to give us a season 2, fix it.
Well, unexpectedly, we just made a little Cutbits extra episode. I didn't plan that, but that's fine. This will find itself to the feed at some point. Oh, and lastly, I plowed through Skyline 1 and 2, obviously, and I started watching the third one. But the disc was actually flawed internally, like
scratched or something.
No. It was it was a design flaw, not a user error.
Okay.
There was something wrong with the manufacturing of the disc internally, that it has an internal flaw. So because of that, the menu doesn't function the way it's supposed to, and then the movie, it cuts off at the 24-minute mark, and then that's it. It's done. And at first I thought it was a scratch or something, or I thought my player was dying, but no, it's an internal design issue. So I'm getting my replacement. But I will say, from the 24 minutes I saw the third, I mean, obviously nobody else cares about this, that you and maybe Kat. Yeah, I still really love the first movie, but I'm a little taken aback a little bit in the second one, and the same feeling with the third one as well. I feel like that series is so strong out the gate, and it's kind of slumping bit by bit the more they keep making sequels.
There was a novelty to its concept and an impressiveness of its delivery for the first movie. That's what drew me in. At the time I was really interested in, indie production, particularly of sci-fi. I had this crazy idea back in the day that once the effects for science fiction became less expensive to make, that we'd see this explosion of lots of different sci-fi shows of great quality, because the stories that were so hard to tell would finally be out there and they'd be able to do it. That's not exactly how things went unfortunately. But at the time, I was really impressed with how small effects houses could make big feeling sci-fi movies.
100% right there with you on that.
So that, hydraulics, they were the ones that really, knocked the doors off of what could be possible all those years ago. So the idea and the visuals of Skyline were really, really garage band impressive. That's what drew me in.
Yes,
but
me too.
And so visually, I know you love the visuals of it. Visually, Skyline is impressive. Conceptually, it is very European in its weird storytelling style, the lack of closure, all of that stuff that's going on, the smallness of it. It just, on one hand, you see these great special effects, and then we spend like 3/4 of it in somebody's living room. I'm like, what the hell? It's just Skyline. Is
I hadn't thought of that. Like, I love making that argument on our movie podcast about things being European. Like, I hadn't have thought that for Skyline, but you're correct about that. I think.
Oh yeah. I know. I can feel it right away. What is this? Because I'm like, really? Can I get an ending? Really? Don't make a movie if you can't end it. The Europeans love to take you on a journey, and they feel no obligation to end the movies. They're like, what the hell you got?
You're right. You're right about that.
Always somebody sailing off into the mist or dust sprinkling in the wind, and like, what the hell, you guys? So
Interesting.
I'm braced for it when I know a sci-fi movie is made in Europe. I'm like, oh, how are they gonna screw this ending up here? So
yeah, and like I said, I'm a little sullen that the sequels they definitely have that direct-to-video feel.
Yep.
And they become more rote, or just the sequels feel just kind of typical.
Yep. Yep.
And
you called it. When they do the darn bloopers at the end, man, I'm barely hanging in there with the show anyhow. Trying to appreciate the space, the universe that they have created, and then I'm just, before the movie's even over, I'm seeing rubber suits and sticks, heads on sticks. I'm like, oh god, you guys are really taking me out of this.
And if they could have at least put more space, fine, keep the bloopers, but put more space of credits.
That's all I'm saying. They're trying to be meaningful and significant, and then moments later, like da 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 da. Oh my god, you guys are killing me.
Oh wow, this is fun. All right,
tune into the Sci-Fi Party Line if you want to know more about Skyline 1, 2, or 3. We've done this, but there you go. Well, I'm telling you, Eric. Tune in to the Sci-Fi Party Line, and you will see in great detail how we felt about.
Well, there's a fourth one coming, everybody. So look forward to that as well. Yeah, I can't remember what Trek I was watching a month or two ago, what series or movie I was watching, but I'm almost getting over the everything blowing up, like on the bridge, like internally, like. And I don't know what the compromise is, because I get it. It makes it more cinematic, more action-y. But could they have some GD circuit breakers or something? Like, why is everything blowing up?
I mean, look, what's the craziest thing is it is clearly established that inter-process system communication is done with fiber, not wires. So what is sparking? This is fiber that's connecting things, that's opto-isolated. I don't know.
And then all the panels flying open.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I was watching, but I was like we've been doing this for decades now.
There's always a hose loose. There's always a hose.
It's completely crazy for the future.
Yep.
For the future.
It's fly by light, and then whenever they get hit, suddenly 900-watt arcs are popping off around them. I don't know.
And I still think, like, for Starship Design, the bridge should be like in the center of the saucer, and everything else should just be simulated on screens. Like.
Oh, you mean from you mean nestled in the center?
Yes.
and with nothing but screens and no windows.
Yes, for it to be top center every time just doesn't seem like strategically to make sense.
I agree. Whatever.
Neither here nor there.
They're basically flying bullseyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, Strange New Worlds just automatically started playing in an episode, and I'm like, oh, I want more of this too. Wow, it's starting to become a good time in Trek. This kind of reminds me of like when Mandalorian was hitting on all cylinders, and it seemed like Star Wars was starting to come back around again as well.
Yeah. Well,
and seeing a teaser trailer just came out for the next season of or whatever it is of Doctor Who, and it doesn't show too much, but just the feel of the teaser, it just feels like Doctor Who is back. Like, it just has this feel of, remember what Doctor Who was like in 2008, 2009, 2007? That's what it really feels, which is, to me, a welcome feeling, considering what we've been through with that show.
Well, I will wait and see to be the judge, but there's some positive indicators.
Well, all we got to do is fix the MCU, because I was underwhelmed by Ant-Man, the recent movie.
Quantumania or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I was really underwhelmed by the movie itself.
Okay, well, I've never been a huge fan of Ant-Man, so...
I never read him or anything. I was a fan of him in the MCU.
Yeah.
I really liked those first two Ant-Man movies. The first one took me by surprise how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And the second one just felt like a really fun sequel.
Yeah. I like the second.
So I've been a fan within the MCU.
I like the second one better than the first, but still not particularly a huge fan of them in the MCU.
I'm not trying to start a whole dialogue in the middle of the night, but I've just been saying it to Caleb and everyone else who I speak to. Like, the only thing post Endgame of the MCU, let's just talk about the movies to less complicate things with the series, is Spider-Man is the only one that I was just like, heck yeah.
Yeah.
All the other ones have been fair to middling.
And even that was a legitimate callback to, previous
Yes.
incarnations, whole other production houses. I don't know what they're doing over there.
Yeah, everything post Endgame aside from Spider-Man has just been
a little
lukewarm to middling, like just okay enough, but nothing like great. And I'm getting sick of it.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it, because they should have known after Endgame that they were going to have to work twice as hard to have single character movies that have an emotional punch.
I felt that lull way back post the first Avengers movie. I felt that lull, like I think we got Iron Man 3 and Thor 2.
Right.
There was a lull where it was like, oh man, like, come on, we just had Avengers. We can't deal with this.
When it's not an ensemble, you got to work.
But then it got better. I mean, they course corrected fairly quickly after that.
Yep.
But this, oh my Lord in heaven, it is getting...
It's been kind of bland.
Donkulous.
Kind of bland, yep.
But anyway, that's a story for another day. Thank you, Carl. I'm so glad I didn't oversleep to the point where we had to scrap things. That would have upset me so much if that had happened.
We would have gotten it again. We would have gotten it.
Oh man, I was just like, where am I? What is happening? Oh man,
the Matrix had you.
Seriously, now I know my new way to fall asleep is to put on the VR, because normally I can't fall asleep just with the regular TV on, because I get on my phone, I'm looking at Facebook. But when you put the VR on, that's the one good thing about it. If you want to concentrate on a movie, is you cannot fuss with your phone. So it's a good thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And so now I know if I need to go to sleep, I'll just put the VR on, because it just blocks out everything. And yeah, I don't know if you had a chance to play with VR, but I remember back when I first got this device 4 or 5 years ago, there's one good game in VR. You've probably seen it somewhere. The one called Beat Saber. That is actually really fun. And when I first got that game and this headset, I was playing Beat Saber for like 30, 45 minutes. And it was a blast. And I was like, okay, I'm done. And I just remember taking off the VR set and being like, oh my God, I'm in my my crappy studio apartment again. I swear it was like Ready Player One or something.
Yeah.
I was just like, holy crap!
Plug me back into the make me somebody important. Plug me back here.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've had a chance to play with VR enough that you've had that experience to where you've got to have it on enough that it literally takes you away.
I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm waiting.
And you take it off, and I was like, oh shit! I'm in this shitty apartment.
Well, I'm gonna wait for the next deck. I've been wanting to dip my toe back into VR, and they keep playing around with the generations and is it wireless or not. I need them to settle down and just get to one. But it's coming.
I probably won't buy the PlayStation version, like the updated version. But I think eventually, when I get some money again, I'll probably get whatever's the current Oculus system. Like, I definitely don't want one that's attached to any type of base system.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That much I know. I want it to be self-contained.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't ever expect to be ever gaming ever much on VR, at least not in its current or not in the generation it's in now. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's all about watching movies.
Okay.
And show like that's the selling point for me, is just to feel like I'm in an IMAX theater. So that's why I'll get another one eventually.
Mm-hmm. With some real resolution on it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, because that's the thing. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're up to 1080p or better now. And that would be so sweet. So, yeah.